Hello, gorgeous Virgo family. As always, so honored to sit with you and feel through the month together. I am a Virgo moon, and I do experience life with some of quite a bit of this energy in my day to day, right? So I'm with you. I have a feeling that March was impactful for Virgos, and that you're kind of coming into April needing some reassurance and a sense of okayness and a sense of process and a sense of path. And I have to tell you that it was very interesting when I tapped into Virgo energy, because I was surprised by what came up, because what came up was relentless change and shakeup. That there will be a sense that you have to spend some time this month really listening into what messages are coming through, because there's a part of it that's going to feel like you know exactly where you're going and you know exactly how it's going to be unfolding, and a part of it that's going to feel very mysterious and almost out of control. Now, what is interesting is that we have a few different things going on in the month in general, and these are like bigger notes, but I think they apply to Virgo especially. The outer planets are going to start doing their yearly retrogrades that last several months. So on April 10th, Jupiter is going retrograde in Sagittarius until August. On April 24th, Pluto is going retrograde in fellow Earth sign Capricorn until October. And on April 29th, Saturn is going retrograde in Capricorn until September. So, you are getting this reassessment thing. Now, the end of the month with Saturn going retrograde, a big part of the Saturn retrograde, which happens for several months every year, is learning how to release control, learning how to release elements of control. Now, that's at the end of the month. But you also have other placements here that are working with you on this front. Like the Aries new moon is on April 5th. And Aries is an interesting energy for Virgos, and we are in Aries season during this month. It's 8th house transformational energy. It is about morphing the landscape. It is about transmuting what once was serving into the next phase. I'm going to start shuffling here. So you have a new moon there. You have the sun in Aries up until, the 19th or the 20th of the month. And then we start moving into the 9th house of your big vision, right? And Virgos, we are in this new transit, right? We have been feeling it through. We have been working with it. But Uranus and Taurus, fellow Earth sign, and Uranus is this planet of revolution and how we believe, what we believe, and how that's moving through, right? So for Virgos specifically, that's how that's affecting you. All these really important energies are working in other earth signs along with you, and it is causing this kind of revolution to happen in the Virgo family, and it's quite powerful. Now, you guys are a mutable sign, so you understand change, you understand movement, you are ruled by Mercury, and the card just fell, excuse me. Let's see what it was. Queen of Swords. Wow. Okay. Okay, there's some directness. There's some truth coming through this month. There may be some harsh truths coming through this month. It may feel a little bit blunt, which I'd have to say that Virgos, you guys are pretty blunt. So I don't know if that's a shock. Knight of Pentacles. Okay. We have really interesting court cards showing up here. These are personalities who err on the side of pragmatism, caution, and they can have a little bit of harshness about them because they're not daydreamy, right? So there's like a lack of daydreaminess here. What I'm noticing with you guys is there's much more of this desire to have concrete results and to come to concrete decisions. 5 of Cups. And that's where I was saying there's mixed messages. You guys are getting revolution this month. You guys are going to have shakeups. You are going to have this sense of change, that things aren't just stable, that the ground is moving underneath you. And I think the way you're going to want to deal with that is to be really pragmatic. 10 of Swords and the Devil. Whoa. Okay, Virgs, like, I just called you Virgs again. I do that like every 6 months, I'll call you Virgs. And then I wonder what the hell I'm doing with that. You're going to want to come to conclusions, and you're going to want to pre-know what's going on this month. You're going to want to put it in your calendar and have it set up so that you can be like, okay, I know that I need to take care of this business, so I'm just going to go ahead and make that call now so that I know what I have to work with, and I'll just work with it the way that I know how, and then we can all just move on. And then what I'm noticing is that rigidity and that nervousness and that kind of wanting to pull back and like hold tight is actually causing more of this painful energy that we're seeing showing up here than not, right? That's trying to pre-know a lot of this is not going to be helpful for you. Oh my goodness, the Tower, the Eight of Wands. I told you, like when I tapped into your energy, I was like, whoa, Virgos, what is going on? Because I said relentless change and shakeups. And I was like, but it's kind of nice. We're going into Taurus season. The outer planets are going retrograde, but that's normally a softening of things so that we get a chance to check in. I was kind of like, why is this happening? And I just think that you guys are ready for the next thing in life. And when you're ready for that to happen, space gets cleared. And the times when we feel the most pain is when we resist that process, right? We feel like we need to do more. We need to be more. We need to be more in charge of it. And the Star. Okay. See, we have all this intense energy in the middle of your reading, but we end with two beautiful cards of flow, harmony, peace, and what you really want to be happening in your life coming up. And that's what I want to emphasize here. This month is a little I'm noticing this month is a little sneaky with the way it's delivering the goods to everybody. It's like it pretends to be really low key and everything's fine and chill and just whatever. And then it brings in a whole bunch of information and it's just like, whoa. And then by the end of the month, it's like, okay, I'm happy with where I am, but the way that we got there was kind of intense and powerful and painful or whatever. But like in your guys' case, it's almost this feeling like you guys just do not want to wait on this anymore. You're done. You're ready to move. You're ready to change. You just have this like itch to get going. And so it's coming up. Here's the thing though, like I said, we start the month off with you guys with two characters who, like I said, they err on the side of pragmatism, right? Queen of Swords and Knight of Pentacles, they want to find a pragmatic solution. They want to just say what needs to be said and make a good plan for how they're going to move forward. They don't want to get, into loosey-goosey feeling stuff. They just want to figure out a way to make things work. Now, this, I think, represents a lot of how you guys are going to be feeling at the beginning of April, like efficiency, clarity, planning. Getting that vision in shape, which I think in some ways that's a good quality, right? It's a good thing to have. This can also be people around you, though, too. You can also find that there are people saying blunt things to you, kind of harsh things to you, and people kind of taking their time and being a little elusive and being a little secretive, and you having a hard time telling what they're doing, having a hard time telling how they're moving in the world, right? And so you're also having a hard time actually implementing the pragmatic programming that you're wanting to implement at the beginning of the month. And part of that is because you still have information you need to find out. So we have this new moon in your 8th house, right? And as we get later into Aries season, we have a full moon in your 2nd house of value. Once again, we're doing a lot of work, Virgos, with your self-valuing, with what you value and what's surrounding you and how you're valuing your time, your energy, and your resources. And that full moon in Libra at 29 degrees is a breaking away of anything that's no longer serving. Now, that cycle started actually in March. And we got a 0 degree full moon in Libra. And then we have the 29 degree full moon in Libra. And for you guys, that has had everything to do with how you're valuing your time, your energy, and your efforts, and where you need to feel that you have less control. Now, these characters that we see coming up here that want control, they want pragmatic control of the situation so that it can be dealt with. There's something going on here, though, with a shift, right? The thing that's interesting about 5 of Cups and 10 of Swords is that yes, they are about loss, right? They are about endings and shift and that feeling that something has been lost. But a lot of times what I've noticed with these energies is it's like we do have to take a moment to grieve who we have been, where we have let ourselves give away our power, what we valued at one point that no longer sustains us. And there is this point that I'm noticing with you guys where you just are able to see it. You're just able to see that you are no longer the person that was okay with whatever circumstances were serving you. And you can look back at it and it's like, I'm not that person anymore. And it can feel like vertigo. It can feel like overwhelming. It can feel like, you will feel grief, even if the things that are coming into your life are really good. There is a grieving of who you once were. And there is a falling away of things that no longer serve you. And this is a question of degrees. I think all of you are going to experience this differently. I tend to feel that this is something that's very emotional and subtle. But for some of you out there, you may experience this as much more of a real world shift, as something that falls out of your life or leaves. You may experience this much more as a sense of change, transformation in a very real way. But the thing that I want to discuss with you guys really is this idea of making space for the adventure ahead. And it's the unimaginable horizon. Now, I haven't brought that up for a minute, but it's one of my favorite concepts. And I do think, Virgos, you are in the midst of engaging with the unimaginable horizon, which is this. You create space for your next adventure, but you cannot conceive of the next adventure. You can't conceive of the people and the places and the elements that will fill your life up over the next several years. There's no way you can preconceive those concepts up. And you're wanting to preconceive them up before you create the space that you know you need to create in order to engage with that unimaginable horizon. So this is high level stuff. This is stuff that it's a life practice. We're all working on becoming better at this skill set. But that's where this devil and the tower are coming in, right? These are pretty intense energies, you guys, and I've never said that you guys were not intense people. You guys live very passionately, very profoundly, and with a whole lot of heart. And you go all the way there. You want to find out what's happening next. You want to dig into the dirt and you want to find out. You're very inquisitive. You're very passionate. You're very driven. And so you need to find out. And one of the things that's coming up here is think about that concept of imprisonment, because these two cards have everything to do with imprisonment and feelings of imprisonment. One is about feeling totally locked into something to the point where you feel you're not even opting into it anymore. That can be in commitment and relationships. Often relationships come up. It can feel like overwork. It can feel like overcommitment. It can feel like all of those heavy things. And then with the tower is about breaking and destroying power systems. It's about subverting the power structure so that those on top are no longer on top. And a lot of times what I say with the tower is you are toppling your inner dictator. You are toppling a power system that is no longer serving you. So there is a lot coming up here for you about what it means to be free. What does freedom mean to you? Does it mean having people in your life that are consistent enough that you can relax? Does it mean taking an extra commitment off of your plate? Does it mean spending some more time with quality people? Does it mean exercising more? Does it mean really, really considering your future job opportunity? Whatever it is for you guys, there is something that just is holding you prisoner and it does not feel good anymore. And it is getting to this fever pitch point where it's not going to be about putting things in your calendar and managing your time. It's going to be about revolutionizing something big and deciding you're going to do it. And for some of you, that has been building and building and building and building to the point where you are ready to burn some things down and you are ready to have those hard conversations and just say what's on your mind. But here's the beautiful thing, and why I don't feel, as much as these cards are about grief and loss and change and shift, I also feel like it's for a creative purpose. Eight of Wands and the Star are so much about play and fun and creativity and movement and opportunity and opening up. You know, the Eight of Wands just gets you moving. Where, you know, the Five of Cups and Ten of Swords is a little bit more of like, slow down, look in, reassess. The Eight of Wands and the Star are like, look out, expand out, connect in. And it's almost this feeling, as soon as you topple that power system, as soon as you free your mind from whatever it is that's coming up with this Devil Tower energy, as soon as you free yourself from this old version, immediately you are met with exactly what you need. Exactly what you need. Exactly what you've been asking for, I'm going to guess, the last 6 months. It's here. But it's kind of this funny deal that has been struck. You got to clear that space out so that this can come in. You've got to go to a place that's conceived of as a little bit scary in your mind in order to have the fun, in order to have the brilliance, in order to have the playfulness. I kind of like to look at your reading this month, you guys, and think about a really wild roller coaster ride. You know, but it's kind of fun. Like, it's not just about destruction. It's not just about fear and paranoia and loss. It's like a creative, exploratory energy where you dive into different aspects of yourself and different aspects of the process to see what's going to serve you the best. And that's, I think, where the power is coming in here for you all. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Remember that whatever pragmatic thoughts are coming out here, the power and the magic for you is going to come from elements of surprise, elements of change and shift that are bigger than just little routines. And it's okay. It's actually a really good thing. Okay, you can find me on my website at SARAHTAROT.com. You can find me on Instagram at SarahVerba. I would love to see you guys over on Instagram. That's where I announce a lot of things that are coming up and where I do energy check-ins and where you get a little bit more of a daily dose of inspiration. If you're needing that throughout the month, I do a lot of check-ins with what's coming up in the day, in the week. So you can go check me out there. I am scheduling sessions actually into Virgo season. So if you guys are interested in getting a reading around your birthday, that would be so much fun. I would go ahead and book that now so we get our time together. I will see you guys for Moon Magics and for more monthly readings. It's been so much fun to sit with you and chat. I hope you have a magical, transformative, powerful, impactful April ahead. I'm so excited to see what that brings the Virgo family. I'm sending so much love. And thank you for being with me.